question. Are we supposed to talk about Krishna or COVID? That's a question I received. Should we talk about Krishna or COVID? This question is self-destructive in the sense that this question is trying to separate the two. It's trying to put Krishna on one side and everything else on the other side, as if that is possible at all. How do you do this? Okay, or you talk about Krishna or you talk about other things. If you talk about Krishna, you're Krishna conscious, you're spiritual, you're self-realized. And if you don't talk about Krishna, you're in illusion, you're in Maya, you're degraded, whatever pejorative things you want to, in whichever pejorative way you want to describe it. So the question then becomes, where do you draw the line? Where does Krishna begin and where does Krishna end? And where does everything else begin and ends? Should we then be talking about buildings, roads, driving, teeth, clothing, letters, books? Where do you draw the line? What does it mean to be to talk about Krishna? How do you separate Krishna from Krishna's energies? How's that? That's an impossible thing to do. And those who do it in their minds, they're, at least according to the Vaishnava worldview, these people are in illusion. So what gives an activity quality, moral quality or spiritual quality, is not the activity itself, but the reasons and the reasons for which and the attitude with which you perform that activity. So, for example, you could be talking about Krishna and be a horrible person. You could be talking about Krishna and be completely in illusion. You could be looking at a picture of Krishna and not be Krishna conscious. You could be seeing colors in there, lines, shapes, and not be conscious of Krishna. On the other hand, you could be walking around this world and see how everything does belong to Krishna, how everything is interconnected, and how you cannot separate Krishna's energies from Krishna. So the question is not what are you talking about, but why are you talking about it, and then also in which ways. So if you're talking about, let's say, COVID, because of compassion for people, because you want other people and yourself to serve Krishna in better situations, you want to improve the situation within which you want to serve Krishna. That's called Krishna consciousness. You're very real. So this type of dualism is, I know it's not that easy to figure this out, and for two reasons. One reason is that it's intellectually difficult to understand, and the other reason is that only those who are self-realized feel and behave like this. So one who does not see Krishna's energy separate from Krishna is called Uttamadhikari in Krishna consciousness. That's a self-realized person. That's the topmost devotee. And why is it intellectually difficult? Well, first you have spiritual difficulty, where you have a tendency to separate Krishna's energies from Krishna. And then over here, it's intellectually difficult. We see that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna had to three times he was explaining this to Arjuna, and Arjuna, well, I guess he got it. We don't know. It's not super explicitly stated in the Bhagavad Gita. We assume he got it. We find this also in the Bhagavatam, in the conversation of Chatusanas, the four Kumaras, in their conversation with Brahma, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, I'm not going to go into details, but if these great personalities were confused about this, then also I'm not surprised that this kind of confusion penetrates the mind enters the mind of the person who asked this question and wanted me to respond to it. So it's a large topic. Lots could be said on it, but conclusion, don't be so damn quick to judge. What do you know for which reason a person is doing something? A person may not be on your level of consciousness and perceiving of things and like that. Of course, now I already hear comments coming. But anyhow, there's a lot more to be said about this. There's many more conditions, ifs that could be included in this conversation, but I'll keep this short just to leave it at this principle. Hare Krishna.